Welcome to the Isle of Man, a proud self-governing country. It's best known for its Manx kippers, tailless cats, motorcycle racing and Mark Cavendish. But there's more to it than that. It's actually a place of legend and folklore. Located in the middle of the Irish Sea, it has a temperate climate due to southwesterly prevailing winds and the Gulf Stream. The island is only 30 miles long and 13 wide, with 100 miles of coastline and a population close to 85,000. It has coastal lowlands and a high central spine, and its waters are crystal clear. There's good evidence that the island was inhabited before 6500 BC, since relics of the Stone, Bronze and Iron Ages have been found. From 480 AD, a period of changing ownership began, lasting 850 years. First up were the Celts from Ireland, bringing Christianity, building churches, providing the base for the Manx language, and probably the name from the Celtic sea god Manannan. Some 300 years later, the Vikings invaded, initially to pillage, but then settling for 460 years, and establishing the title of King of Man. A Norse form of government was introduced, and the first fortifications were built on Peel Island and in Castletown. Ownership passed to Scotland in 1266. After a messy 67 years of dispute, Edward III of England took ownership of the island. For over 400 years, a series of barons and earls owned the island as Kings of Man. In 1765, ownership reverted to the Crown, and the monarch became Lord of Man, a title currently held by Queen Elizabeth, who is represented by an appointed Lieutenant Governor. The heyday of the island might be thought of as the 120 years of tourism, from Victorian times to the arrival of cheap holidays in the sun. People from the north of England and the Midlands travelled by steamer from Liverpool. They would arrive in Douglas, where they enjoyed 2 miles of sandy beaches and attractions on the promenade, which are little changed today. Take the horse-drawn tram from the sea terminal to the Manx Electric Railway Station at the other end of the promenade. From here, travel 18 miles north along the coast road to Ramsey. Not luxurious travel, but a great experience. Stop off at Laxey and see the world's largest water wheel. At 72 feet diameter, this is another Victorian engineering achievement. From Laxey, an electric train climbs 2,038 feet up to the top of Snaefell. From the summit, the Manx will tell you that on a clear day you can see 6 kingdoms: England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, the Isle of Man and Heaven. A Victorian steam train will take you south from Douglas to Castletown, the ancient capital. Then on to Port St Mary, a one-time fishing village. The terminus is in Port Erin, which has its own attractive bay. The island claims to have the longest continuously serving parliament in the world. It's been operating for 1,000 years, since the Norwegians took over the island. Under the Tynwald system, 24 people of influence, known as Keys, are elected by public vote every 5 years to the House of Keys, a chamber which is virtually non-political without parties or whips. Tynwald originally met in Peel Castle, but moved to the old capital Castletown in 1200, where it met in the castle until a House of Keys was built nearby. In 1869 it moved to the new capital Douglas, where it now meets. Annually, on the 5th of July, an open-air Tynwald Court meets on Tynwald Hill. When adopted legislation is read out in Manx and English, and petitions for redress are received. So what's the story about the TT races? Motorcycle racing has been a key feature of the Manx scene. Since 1911, bikes have used the current 37 3/4 mile mountain circuit. In June, the professional riders compete, where peak speeds can now reach 200 miles per hour. You can travel part of the route by bus, but at a lower speed. So what is the island's future? The island has been a Crown dependency since 1866, so it's not part of the United Kingdom, but has the benefit of free trade in Europe without being a formal member of the EU. It does not contribute to its budget nor comply with its legislation. It has its own legal system, postal service and banknotes, and is only dependent on Westminster for defence and foreign affairs. As a result, it's able to set low taxes for businesses and individuals. Declining income from agriculture, fisheries, mining and tourism has led to diversification. There's a successful financial services sector, which currently provides 65% of government revenue. There is also a growing number of niche businesses, such as aviation, e-services, e-gaming, offshore energy and local food and drink. The island will no doubt survive, reflecting its flag with its motto which says, "Whichever way I am thrown, I will stand." Well, that's the Isle of Man. It's a magical place steeped in history, folklore and legend. Make a visit, but a piece of advice. As you make your way to the airport via the A5, say hello to the little people by Ferry Bridge, otherwise there may be consequences.